In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I greet my brothers and sisters, family members and listeners. In the greeting words of peace, we say, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And welcome to the FahjrShowTV. By
Go
Allah's grace and mercy. All praise is due to Allah. It's time for us to get back into our spiritual cipher. It's been a while since we have been not chilling, but, accumulating wisdom, accumulating knowledge, accumulating and studying our environment so that we can move forward with something substantial to speak of. Before we move forward, I must invite and welcome my beautiful wife and interlocutor, Sister Janet Aisha. She's right here next to me, looking beautiful in brilliant white. All praises due to Allah. Welcome, sister. Can you come and give some greetings to the people?
Assalamu alaikum, family. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum, family. I would like to start off by extending greetings to the sisters of the MGT, as always, the brothers of the FOI, and all of the listeners and the viewers of FahjrShow.tv.
And this is a new phase for us. This is a new precedent for us. For those listening on radio, those listening on internet, we're striving now to move on to TV. So we will be streaming live recording, that is, on FahjrShow.tv, which we should be putting up on our MySpace page. So by Allah's grace and mercy, it was kind of difficult this morning. We have to get makeup. We have to get wardrobe, It's all different now. It's not like radio where you can just, have rollers in your hair, maybe. Not brush your teeth, maybe, It's all different now. It's all visual. We're moving into the visual 21st century, sister.
It's so important. And you know what? I think, first and foremost, speak for yourself with the rollers in there. Okay?
Rollers in my hair.
Because... brothers and sisters, one of the things I always do in order for me to remember who I am and, appreciate what we're sharing, I always prepare myself and get ready properly. It's very important. It's important for us to remember who we're reflecting and who we're sharing our information with as well, not take anything for granted.
All praise is due to Allah, And I just hope and pray that, nothing is lost and more is added in this new phase that we're moving into, because it's going to be a difficult transition, but hey, we got to do it, right?
Sure.
All praise is due to Allah. Okay, right about now, what we want to do is go into our new series, Extra Special People Series 2. A continuation, really, of Stopping the Killing, Talk 24, which we had a couple of weeks back. We're all aware of the state of shootings, murderings taking place in our families, in our communities. And it is only right and exact that we take this and make it priority issue in our community as talk presenters, as people who are involved in self-improvement, which is the basis of community development. Something is really going wrong, or something has really gone wrong big time in our families, not just in the community, because it seems to be affecting us in our families more than anybody else. So we don't live in a microcosm, we live in a society, but it seems to be impacting on us, So some of the issues that we really want to look at throughout the course of this series, we will be highlighting. I mean, this is just an introduction today, I guess. It's an introduction to the series, so we want to really just look at the circumference of what we have to study. Some of the issues that we really want to look at. Children and parents, obviously, it's got to be main focus, got to be number one priority. We want to look at community and nation. We want to look at government and politics. We need to look at the relationship between state and Godhead, God figure, If we're really serious about stopping the killing, if we're really serious at getting, beneath a surface study, we're going to have to really take this apart bit by bit, piece by piece, sister.
Yes, sir. When I'm looking down, I'm taking some notes while you're speaking, because what I'm hearing you saying is that really we're in a state of emergency, brothers and sisters, and the killings, the shootings, the beatings, the muggings, you know, the attacks that are happening by our children and to our children have forced us now to start looking at the way that we parent or don't parent. Look at the way that we exist and not necessarily live. Look at the way that we're not actually surviving. We can't even say, how are you, brother? I'm surviving. We're not surviving anymore because so many of our children are dying. And because our children are our future, what that means is that our future is being stopped, it's being truncated, it's being killed based on the mentality and the mindset of the environment and the society that's going down into, and that's going into our children, that's affecting us and our children. So really, what I hear you're saying is that we're in a state of emergency.
Brothers and sisters, we're in a state of emergency, and a state of emergency calls for an emergency. It calls for us to actually snap out of our daily routines, snap out of what we think is me and myself and my own little routine. It's time in a state of emergency for a coming together. It's a time in a state of emergency for a pooling of resources, a reaching out so that we can reach in.
You know, brothers and sisters, I hope you remember about the Millions More movement and what it is. It's about all of us as a community, as a nation, pooling our resources and joining together under specific headings and guidelines. And one of the things that Minister Farrakhan had done in America is set up like a load of, or helped a load of organisations to join together regardless of people's colour. And one of the Christian ministers that he's worked with for years is Reverend Father Flager. And what he done is that he and others amongst with him, what they did is they set up a march in, I think it was in Chicago, whereby they had parents and him at the front, marching silently from one place to another. Now, throughout that march, that was to signify the deaths of their children, and that was to signify what's happening to their children, because they're in a state of emergency, but they recognise it and they're actually doing something about it as a community. And what they did, they said 31 children had died in the past since the beginning of this year. You know, up until the end of June, 31 children had died, and he'd said that they'd all had enough. So every single, all of them, a lot of the people from the community came out, and they had 31 coffins that they marched with. The march was silent, and they had 31 coffins. And he said, during the time of this march, from last night to today, we're already out. The number is outdated. It's now 32. Wow. Just from the night before, it's 32. And he said, you know, even being a white man, he said, you know what? He said, we got to stop the crime. We got to stop the tears. We need to get angry. And only when we get angry, that's when we'll stop it. We got to stop our children from dying. We got to stop our children, we got to stop allowing our children to be killed. And if it means that we have to get angry and use that anger in a constructive way, then that's what needs to happen. But we can't sit there crying now. You know, like victims, we've got to take charge.
I think